Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the fishing report for September 21st, and it's a good one for both largemouth and stripers. I'm gonna have to say that fishing has been good to excellent. So if you've got a few days off that you can take from work, I would get out here in the next week or two. If you don't have that time off, you might think about, taking care of that hamstring that's been bothering you, calling in sick for a few days. Now's the time to do it. River is in great shape, it's fishing well, very low pressure out here, and it is just beautiful. A lot of topwater fish. You want to be out here. We'll get into that in just a minute, but I have a couple of pieces of information. Number one, we had the million view giveaway, and I have found all of the winners. I've got all those guys taken care of. So the giveaway, what do we call it? Well, it's not a raffle. The drawing is over. I want to thank all you guys for sending in remarks and everything. All you guys for watching. I guarantee you there's going to be more giveaways coming up, and it's not going to take another million views. I've got a lot of things planned in the future, so stay tuned. And I'll also say, hey, the Law Dogs, who was the grand prize winner, got to go out fishing with Law Dogs. As you would suspect, he is a retired a law enforcement officer, so I was really happy to hear not only the guy that won the drawing was a good fisherman, but he's a good person, and thanked him for his service. And we had a great day of fishing. We got out there at change of light. We had a good topwater bite. The Law Dogs caught a couple of beautiful 3.5 pound fish on poppers, whopper ploppers. We had good fishing for about 2 hours in the morning, probably caught about a dozen fish. Tapered off a little bit. We went over to Rusty Porthole, had a delicious hamburger, got out and kind of grinded through the afternoon, catching fish, up to about 2 pounds. All in all, we probably had about 15 keepers and, several dinks, and had a great day. Jeff, thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for coming on board. Oh, by the way, I got one too. I got one about 7.5 pounds. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but the Law Dogs was the man that netted that fish for me. So again, thanks a lot, Law Dogs, and we'll see you out here again. I've got to hit up the food allergies tournament, and I know you guys have seen this advertised. I'm really behind the 8 ball on this. I should have been talking about this for the longest time. And I've got the information here. This is going to be the Food Allergy Bass Kayak Tournament. It's up at Clear Lake this week, Saturday, September 23rd, out of Brados. I'll give you the quick particulars. If you want to get into this tournament, you can go to the Food Allergy Bass Tourney website, and I'll put that up, how to get there in the information, or you just Google up Food Allergy Bass Tournament, and you'll find all the information. 100% proceeds go to the Center for the Allergy, the Sean Parker Center for Allergy and Asthma Research. Last year, Dean raised over $10,000 for the hospital. $35 registration fee. First 75 anglers will receive a $20 gift card, and they'll also get a gift basket with a bunch of goodies in it and a ticket for a drawing. The gift card will be for discount tackle, free lunch and drinks. Check this out. Silent auction, over $18,000 worth of prizes. I was there last year, and guys walked away with steals. I think there's 35 people, anglers signed up for this. He's thinking there's going to be 40, 45. You got to get up there and fish this tournament. If nothing else, just to be there for the silent auction. Have some great prizes. And by the way, if you are on the fence, you're thinking, I don't know if I want to go up there. How's the fishing? I got a report from Christian Ostrander just a couple days ago. He's up there guiding, pulled a 30-pound bag. I got a picture of Christian. Fishing is on fire up there, so it's not only going to be it's going to be a good tournament, but it's going to be a good time to get up there, and you're going to catch a lot of fish. You're going to have a lot of fun. Okay, that's the food allergy bass tournament. Let's get right into the report. Water conditions out here in the Central Delta are just perfect. I've been fishing from Frank's Track back up into Paradise. We're talking low 70-degree water temperatures, 70 to 73 degrees. It's kind of just slowly creeping down like it should. Visibility out here is about 6 feet. Down south, we still got about 2 feet of visibility, but if you guys are fishing down south, don't worry about it. My buddy Cam Cardoza was down fishing south and 2 feet of visibility, had about a 23-pound bag, 6.5-pound kicker, couple of fives and a couple of nice fish to finish off that bag. Took all his fish on frogs. So don't worry, even though you still got some cloudy water down there, it's time to get out and go down south, north, central, wherever you want to go out there and hit them up. What else we got going here? NorCal Bass Club. They had a tourney Saturday. I didn't get a lot of information. I heard it took over 20 pounds to win that tournament. I know there was a fish over 9 that was weighed in and a lot of big fish. And that's the story of this week for largemouth bass. A lot of big fish coming out, and it's just turning on. It's starting to get really good. Let's talk about stripers. Talked to Jeff Suhu. He was not able to get out last week because of the wind, and out where he's fishing the West Delta, there's been a lot of weeds, vegetation moving around, so he wasn't able to get out last week, but everyone he talks to is saying the fishing is doing well. I know the Sacramento side is, I think, fishing a lot better than the San Joaquin side. Been out around Frank's Track a few days. The only stripers that I'm catching and I'm hearing about guys, that are bass fishermen catching are the small fish. Tons of small fish, not a lot of stripers in there, not a ton of bait in there. So I think most of the bigger stripers are out probably from about Honker Bay on down through Rio Vista up around Liberty. I did get a report from Neil, who Neil and his partner were out fishing stripers out around Liberty. They had a 15 fish day. The fish were up to 30 inches long. Most of the fish were in the 5 to 8, 10 pound range, and had a great day. They're throwing big swim baits, standard stuff. The guys that are trolling in the Sacramento River are catching fish. The only suggestion I have is if you go out, I would say stay from the Central Delta west. The West Delta is a lot better. Sacramento even better. Up around Liberty. That's where I'd put my time in if you were fishing for stripers. All right, let's get into the largemouth bass, and I see what else I got written down here. I don't need anything written down for largemouth bass. I've been out here about every day, and the fishing is really good. This is what's going on. We've got a good morning bite. We've got a good evening bite. It's been going, there's days when I've had a 45-minute to an hour and a half bite, either morning or evening, 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Good long period of having really good fishing. Then it tapers off. You still get topwater bites, and I've been fishing topwaters throughout the day. I have hardly taken a topwater off just because I'm having too much fun. In the mornings, though, in the evenings, it's really good. Now, what you want to do out here is the fish are spread out all over. It doesn't matter if you're fishing rock. It doesn't matter if you're fishing tule. It doesn't matter if you're fishing islands. The only thing I could say is you have to be versatile. Don't stay in one place too long. There's about a 5 bait rotation that you can use out here right now, and it will assure you to get bites. Number one is a topwater. I've been tying on about 3 or 4 topwaters. A popper, a whopper plopper has been lights out a lot of times. Walking baits like spooks. Anything in the colors of, if you're out early or late, the loon colors, the darker colors. During the daytime, you're going to want to throw something that looks like a little shad. There are a ton of little shad out here. Stick to those colors if you're fishing topwater. I've also been catching fish in the morning and in the evenings with Mikeys, Suwitches, wake baits on top have been very effective for me, and they're catching a little better grade of fish. I have not tried the buzz baits. I know frogs are doing well. I was out with Christian last week, and he did very well on frogs. He was fishing frogs, I was fishing poppers and wake baits. We were both catching fish. Once you get off the top water, worms are coming back into play. You definitely want to throw either a drop shot with a morning dawn colored worm. Green pumpkin cincos are doing well, getting a lot of smaller fish on them. What I'm going to start doing this week is I'm going to put on probably a 7-inch worm and try to get a bigger fish. I know a lot of the guys that sent in pictures and reports have been getting some big fish on worms, but they have to wade through the smaller fish. So I'm going to kind of wean off of the robo worms and 5-inch worms and go with the bigger Cinco 6 and 7-inch. Chatterbaits are doing well. Crankbaits are doing well. Chatterbaits in white or kind of flamethrower colors, crawdad colors. Bluegill are kind of, I know they're getting themselves tucked in for the winter. I'm not seeing a lot of bluegill out here, so stay with those shad colors. Boy, what do I want to? I mentioned I got that big fish last week. I'll throw a picture up. About 7.5 pounds. I caught that fish, believe it or not, on my spinning rod with a little Rico, and it's in the shad color. Now take a look at this fish, and long fish, big head, big mouth. I think that fish probably in about 2 or 3 weeks will go closer to 9 pounds. Remember that fish last week, 13 pounds, kind of looked the same way. Big fish, believe me, 13 pounds, 7.5 pounds, those are all big fish. But these are the females that are late spawners. They're recovered from the spawn, and they are still, they still need to pack on some weight. They're not at their ideal weight for winter yet. And I believe that this next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, as long as the water temperatures stay fairly, fairly consistent, we're going to have a heck of a late, we'll call it an early fall, late summer, whatever you want to call it. The fish are biting. I talked to Rob Cloutier about this, and Rob and I have been saying all year that it's just going to be late. The fish are still out there. There's big fish out there. It's not only the Delta, but every lake in Central California, Northern California is late. It's coming on right now. What I wanted to get at is this fish, these females that are just coming off spawn have not packed on the weight, but they are very aggressive. Man, these things are coming up, and when they hit topwater baits, they are just slamming them. On the other hand, you guys are out here, you're catching a lot of these fish. Maybe a month ago they were 2 to 2.5 pounds. These are the males. We'll say the males from 2 to 4 pounds. The males, they're packing on weight. If you get a male that's about 15, 16 inches, it's going to be about 3 pounds. The males are fat. They look like Delta fish, and they're packing on the pounds, and they're feisty. They're hitting hard. They're fighting hard. But females, they're going to be really packing on weight in the next couple of weeks. All I can say is, get out here now, 4 or 5 bait rotation, keep your topwaters on, chatterbaits, jerk baits have been coming into play. They're feeding on shad, and if you stick with that rotation with a few worms, punching frogs, you're still going to get fish. Rob has been cleaning house, and he's been just junk fishing. And I'm sure he's been out around Frank's track. Move around, don't stay in one place very long. Doesn't matter if you're on rock, tule, mud bank, cement bank, poles, whatever you're fishing. Stay around the clean vegetation and just keep moving. You're going to catch fish. So thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and start fishing. I'll see you on the water. Good luck.